Bonhoeffer always talked about faith in action. In James, in the book of James, it says faith without works is dead. So many American Christians, precisely like the German Christians of the 30s, had bought this lie that, oh yeah, I'm saved by faith, which means I don't need to do anything, because if I do something, that's works righteousness. That's not biblical, folks. If you have real faith, it will be borne out by your works, by your actions. If you think that you can pretend to have faith and say, well, it's in my head and I believe these things, but you're not living it out self-sacrificially, God knows and the devil knows you don't have the faith you think you do. And you should be worried about your salvation, because that is, really having faith. It's going to look like you have faith. It's going to cost you something, because Jesus already paid it. I can't outgive God, and I'm going to live out my faith. So Bonhoeffer lived out his faith. But I realized, as I say, that the nightmare of 2020 with the insane, BLM riots, just the madness, the anarchy, the lie that you can't leave the building without a mask, but people can burn stuff and tip over cars and smash windows, and they'll get a pass. I mean, most Americans looked around and said, "What is happening? Is this America? What is going on?" I think that's when I realized that the church's failure to stand at that time against the various evils. I mean, that's just one. BLM is a Marxist organization. They don't care about actual racism any more than the devil cares about racism, any more than the KKK cares about. They use the term to get more power, but all they care about is using whatever they can to guilt trip people into saying, oh, okay, I'll give you some money, I'll go along with whatever you're selling. And I think that the church failed dramatically. The church failed very dramatically in shutting down during COVID, in pushing the vaccines. I mean, so many people had legitimate questions. The right thing to do would say, let's air these questions. Let's talk about this. Instead, most of the American evangelical church and other parts of the church went along with the narrative being pushed aggressively, extraordinarily aggressively by cultural elites. Shut up, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And if you don't, we're going to call you names, and we won't let you into the concert. That proved, in a sense, the bankruptcy of the church of today. And that's when I realized that we need to repent. We need to understand what God is calling us to do. We have the example of what happened in Germany right in front of us, clear as a bell. It's like, if you want to see how this goes, read the Bonhoeffer story. So that's why I wrote Letter to the American Church. And the sequel, Religionless Christianity, is meant to unpack more of that, to help people understand what's the difference between playing this religious game, being merely religious, versus actually living out your faith in action, which is what Bonhoeffer was trying to get the German church to do.